With our roof complete, let's create the pillars that will hold it up. Navigate so you can see underneath the roof and use the rectangle tool. Starting from this near corner, click to start drawing a rectangle, pull away and make this 4 inches by 4 inches. Remember, you can enter rectangle values by typing the units separated by a comma and press enter to finish. Now use push-pull to start pulling this shape down and make this pillar 8 feet long. Let's group this pillar before copying it. So, like before, use the select tool to triple click on the pillar, 1, 2, 3. And this time, we'll make this a component. You can group geometry as a group or a component, and generally, the rule is to group single objects, and anything that you will copy should be a component. We are going to copy this pillar, so we'll make it a component. Don't worry about the various settings here, simply name this and create the component. To copy this pillar over, we'll use the Move tool. An important concept when using the Move tool is to pick meaningful inference points. For example, we want to copy this pillar to this corner. So we'll click on this corner inference point, which will allow us to easily snap it to the far corner. Using the Move tool, click once on this corner and start moving it towards the other side. Of course, we need a copy, so while moving it, tap the Control key on a PC or the Option key on a Mac to toggle a copy. Now the original pillar component is left in place, and we can move this copy to the other side, clicking on the far corner to place it exactly. Let's do this again, this time with our 2 pillars. Use the select arrow to select one pillar, then hold the Shift key to add to our selection and click on the second pillar. With both pillars selected, choose the Move tool, and again we'll move these with a meaningful inference point, and this corner will work well. Click on this endpoint, start moving our pillars, and tap the Control or Option key on a Mac to toggle a copy. Now place these exactly at the opposite corner. Okay, let's look at our model. It's starting to look a bit more interesting, but let's add some detail to our pillars. Navigate to look under this near pillar, and we'll learn to edit it. Watch as I try to push-pull on these surfaces. Sketchup won't let me, and that's because I'm not actually editing the component. To edit this component, we need to double-click on it with the Select tool. A single click will select the component, but if we double-click, we see something different. A dotted line surrounding our pillar, and the rest of the model is faded out. Click outside of the component, and it closes again. Try this a few times. Double-click to edit this component, and click away to close it. Let's widen the base of our pillar, so double-click to edit, and make sure we see the dotted lines. And we'll try a new tool here, the Offset tool. With this tool, click once on the bottom surface and pull away to offset this entire shape. Now type 1 inch and press enter, then pull this new surface up 12 inches. As we've been working on this one pillar, you probably have noticed that the other pillars are also changing. Remember that we made this pillar a component, and that means that while we are editing one component, all similar components are affected. There is a lot of power in components, so you can look forward to learning more in later courses. For now, let's close this component if you haven't already, and we'll create the platform. To start the platform, draw a rectangle inside our pillars, and the size doesn't matter. Now pull it up by 2 inches. Let's group this now. Triple click with the selection tool to grab it all, and through the edit or context menu, make this a group. We'll move this up with the move tool. Click somewhere on the top and make sure you are moving it in the blue axis and type 30 inches and hit enter. Rather than giving specific dimensions, this will be an exercise in inferencing. We can complete this platform accurately by referencing other geometry. By now you know how to edit a group by double-clicking on it with the select tool. Edit this group and use the push-pull tool to start pulling this near side. I do need to click once on the surface to start pulling it, but after that, I don't have to stay on that surface. I can move the cursor all over the model to reference other geometry. So I clicked on the platform surface to start pulling, but I'm going to end by clicking on one of these pillars. So the platform extends exactly to that side. Now click to pull on the adjacent side of the platform and infer to the inside edge of our near pillar. So again, we started pulling from the platform, but we'll click to end it on the pillar edge so we know it's lined up perfectly. Let's do this again by orbiting around and doing the same on the other side. Use push-pull and inferences to center our platform exactly inside the pillars. To finish the platform, navigate to this side. Make sure we are still in edit mode and draw a rectangle using these intersection inference points. This splits the surface perfectly on the inside of the pillars so we can pull it out and again infer to the pillar for an exact distance. Do this on the other side as well and close out of editing the platform. Often in SketchUp, once you've drawn a few shapes accurately, you'll be able to use inferences to quickly and easily draw many other shapes accurately as well, without ever entering dimensions. So far, our playground is okay, but it doesn't have much to actually play on. Let's fix that now. Zoom into one of our sides and we'll explore another useful reference tool, the tape measure tool. By clicking on an edge, you can pull away a guideline parallel to that edge. I'll pull this guideline in and enter 1 inch, and then start again and pull another guideline in 3 inches. Now we can easily draw a rectangle between our pillars that is 2 inches wide. Pull this rectangle about halfway up. The exact distance is not important. Now we'll introduce the arc tool. There are several ways to draw an arc for different situations. We'll use the 3-point arc tool. Navigate to make sure you can see both sides of our rectangle and click to start your arc on one side, then click a second time on the opposite edge. Then find a curve that you like and click a third time to complete this arc. Do be careful as you draw. SketchUp may try to infer to the pillar edge, so be sure you are drawing on our new rectangle only. With this new arc drawn, we can cut this top shape away with push-pull. Push this surface until it meets the back surface. A good way to be sure is to look for the on-surface inference. It will be a blue rectangle inference. Push-pull will cut openings between parallel surfaces. So let's try this again. Use the circle tool to draw a few circles on our new shape. Make sure to keep your circles inside the shape and don't overlap them. Keep them fairly large as well. Now, push each circle until you see the opposite on-surface inference, and you will cut away that opening. Cut away all your circles. With this form complete, let's remember to group it. Use the selection tool, triple click, select it all, and group it.